Can you hear me? Yes, good morning. My name is Jäger. I'm working together with Viva Trust, and Viva Trust is one of the organizations that are supporting this conference, that is a 3-day conference. In the name of the whole team of Viva Trust, that is Shannon Music, Felipe Castro, where are you? There he is. Arturo Rodriguez, and Roberto Tave, who is not here at this moment, as he has to prepare the following 2 days in St.Gallen. A very warm welcome to all of you to this three days conference on Leaders Forum, Shaping the Global Sustainability Agenda. For me personally, actually, I'm really happy to see all of you, and the reason is simple. If you hear my name is Urs, very Swiss. Even one might be more Swiss, Uli. Where are you, Uli? Uli? Is here? He's prepared, yes. I was working here in Switzerland for many years in the area of non-profit management, and since 4 years I'm working now in Latin America on this topic with high professionals, and I'm blessed I can learn a lot of things in respect of how to be effective in these countries. So the whole thing that I do is building bridges between Latin America and Europe, and the whole conference will be about this topic. And as I know, many of you are professionals in these fields, and you are doing nothing else, building bridges between these two worlds. But what is the difference between Latin America and Europe? We had two weeks ago, we had a conference on this topic, and we had Stuart Hart with us, and he said, one of the key difference we have is the following. Entrepreneurs, they are working in functioning markets, and what they are doing is creating needs. Social entrepreneurs, they are working in contexts where you have huge needs. And what they need to do is creating markets. And that's actually the whole difference of being active in Latin America as a social entrepreneur. You need to create markets. And if you're doing this in Europe, you have welfare states. These are working. So you need to create, not needs, you have a lot of needs, but you need to work with functioning welfare systems, and that's very different. And that's the key difference. But I'm telling this now to people, you are all trained, you all know this. And the main idea of this conference is not about teaching you. You have more knowledge than we have. It's about creating a space for all of you to work on your own initiatives, to make these initiatives better. Supporting you, creating connections to other people that are knowledgeable in these fields, supporting you, having contacts to foundations, maybe to get some interest in potential investors, get connections to people who want to work together with you. That's the objective that we will have in this conference. The first day, we have the principle of supporting bottom-up change. Supporting leaders, in other words, supporting you, and we are doing this to think about what does it mean to work as a social entrepreneur. And we don't do it in a theoretical way. We will listen to one of the definitions that we have in social entrepreneurs, presented by Martin Burt in one moment. But we want to practice to understand what it is. Tomorrow, we will have the chance to listen to pioneers in the field of sustainability and to think more about the macro level. What is changing in the world in respect to sustainability? How are the frameworks in governments and states changing? And where are they going? And the last day, and that's the key, most important part for Viva Trust and the people that are working in that field, how can you make impact? Walk the talk. And there we're going to talk about different initiatives, and one of the initiatives will come out, hopefully, out of the discussion that we will have today. Viva Trust is supporting this initiative because they are working now since about 30 years in this field in Latin America, and during that time they have now a network of about 6,000 entrepreneurs that are active in all the countries in Latin America, and they're quite effective, and one of them is Martin Burt. And the basic idea of Viva Trust in this moment is we need to learn from these people. We need to open their heads and just to look inside to get all the knowledge. We don't open it, we try to get this knowledge and to transfer this to a new generation. The second, what we're going to do is we bring the experienced social entrepreneurs together with the newcomer in the field to have a direct interaction. And that's exactly what we're going to do with this day today. These are not just the experienced entrepreneurs we have. We also know we have a lot of entrepreneurs. They are new in the field and they are role models. And that's the reason in Viva Trust we have a prize, an award that we are giving once a year for the most innovative projects and leaders. And we have the chance to listen today to 4 of our awards winners of last year. And they're going to present their own initiatives. The awards winners are one, and they are coming now from Latin America. What I experienced in the preparation of this conference is that you have a lot of students here in this context that are really initiative. And they are creating new ways of how you can create a conference in this space. And this is Florian with the Social Business Club. Without their support, it would not be possible to create a conference like this. Florian, can you explain a little bit more? And why are you doing this?
Thanks. So, yeah, why I'm here basically is that I decided to found the Social Business Club like in May 2013, and I got in contact with Urs, and I was given the chance to go to Costa Rica to experience all of Latin America and a lot of entrepreneurial activities that are going on there. And I was given the even bigger chance to like enter this conference, the organization of this conference, which was so far like a lot of people I met, a lot of interesting reunions and so on. And I'm really glad I was given this chance. And I really want to welcome you in the name of the Social Business Club, who is a partner of the Leaders Forum. We are a student initiative at the University of St.Gallen that is raising the awareness on social entrepreneurship, impact investing, and doing business in informal markets. And we try to establish a landscape for social business at the University of St.Gallen by connecting practitioners, faculty, and students to build this landscape that students can grow in this field. The Leaders Forum is actually a quite good example of the work we do, as many, like as Urs mentioned, many members of the organizing team of the Leaders Forum are members of the Social Business Club. And we were especially involved in co-creating this day together with the Impact Hub Zurich, with Niels, and we as well in initiating a roundtable on impact investing on Saturday together with Roots of Impact, with Björn Strüber, who is actually here as well. So with these words, I would like to give over to the co-founder and program director of the Impact Hub Zurich, Niels, and he will as well be the moderator of today.
Thank you. Okay. Perfect. Welcome from my side as well. I think you agree with me that the most important thing you need if you're going to moderate a day with 90 participants, fast moving, is actually your voice, right? However, nature has been playing a bit of a trick on me because this morning I woke up without a voice. What you hear now is something in between. My wife actually told me, just tell him it's your sexy voice. I said, I don't know if it's fitting for this conference to have a sexy voice, but I will need a bit of consideration in that sense. So when I ask like to move to the next program, etc., that you help to save my voice as well. But I think it's going to work out fine. So, as Florian said, my name is Niels. I'm one of the co-founders of the Impact Hub in Zurich here, and we're very delighted to be partnering in this conference. The run-up has been a tremendous learning experience for us, and I'm pretty sure that we can pass this experience on to all of you. I would like to know first a little bit who we actually have in the audience here. So I'll ask some questions and just raise your hand if this actually applies to you. So who of you is actually a social entrepreneur or in the progress of starting a social enterprise? Please raise your hands. Okay, that's a nice group. Whom of you is a professional in the so-called supportive ecosystem, so who works with social entrepreneurs, a foundation, an NGO, a company? Please also raise your hand. Okay, that's another third, more or less. Who is a student here in this room? Okay, another third. Who is something else? Let me see. Okay, we have those as well, perfect. So that's one type of diversity we have here that you saw very nicely in this raising of hands, different professions. The other thing is geographical diversity. So Let me ask you, who from you here is from Latin America, mainly, would say that? Okay, perfect. Who is from Europe? Okay, so who is something else again? Let me see. All right, perfect. So we have a nice mixture. Now, who in this room knows more than 5 people personally? Please raise your hand if you know more than 5 people personally. Okay, so that's less than half actually. So this means that there are a lot of people in this room, if you look around you, who don't know many people, who are looking for connections, for contacts. So use the opportunity of the day to introduce yourself, to make new connections that are actually going to last. My final question would be, whom of you are going to St.Gallen for the next 2 days of the conference? Let's just see. Oh wow, the vast majority, perfect. Now, let me say something about the objectives for the day. And I have to keep the microphone very close for my voice. So I think one thing we know, we don't have to read the newspapers to know that the world is facing some very, very tough challenges at the moment. There's a lot of bad stuff happening. However, what makes me optimistic is that we're in a time like never before where there are people willing, very talented people willing, to take on these challenges, to build organizations, to build projects that actually solve the relevant problems of our time. And what Urs already mentioned is that these people cannot do it alone. There will be macro support needed, plus bottom-up change. And for this specific day, it is about this bottom-up change. How can we build this supportive ecosystem where people can actually emerge with new ideas, with new businesses to solve the relevant problems? For this day, we've set 3 specific goals. The first one we've set is action. So we really want this to be about all of you getting the opportunity to develop your own action initiatives, to bring them further. The second thing is about learning as well. As I said already, for me, this has been tremendous learning already, and I think the way we've structured the program, this is going to be very much so for you guys as well. Then the third thing is very concrete support. We have these 8 social entrepreneurs with us, the 4 from Latin America, the winners of the prize, 4 Europeans, and as we saw by the show of hands, some more that we can help with contacts, with feedbacks, with ideas, and let's really, really try to do that. The final thing is what I really want us to be, is also be energized by the end of the day. This is going to be tough with such a big group of people in such a small room, I know that. But we have tried to structure the program in such a way that there's a lot of interaction and there's an opportunity for you to really, really interact with us to make sure this works. In order to get a bit of the sense of the wisdom of the crowd, I would like to do what I call a word labyrinth. So I'm going to start with Ursula in the end, and I would like all of you to imagine it is the end of the day. It is 6 o'clock, and the conference is over, the day is over, and you'll write a message or a tweet to one of your best friends to say, hey, this conference was awesome. Which one word describes sort of the feeling you have, the satisfaction you have? And what I would like to ask all of you now is get up, stand up, please. And I'm going to be pointing at you, and very fast, I want all of you to say one word, very loud, not just to me, so that everybody actually hears it. Okay? So I think, let's see if this actually works. I'd like to see what your expectations are for today. So very loud, Ursula, go ahead.
Inspiration.
Common understanding. Fondue.
Passion.
Learning.
Inspiration. Articulación.
Hope. Learning. Network.
Inspiration.
Support.
Social inspiration. Connections. Inspiration. Energize. Action. Motivation. Ideas. Positive.
Improvement. Solutions. Inspiration.
Action. Rückzieher. Best practices. Innovation. Constructive. Eagerness.
Inform.
Connection.
Learning.
Creatividad. Positive change. Planning. Let's rock it more. Inspiring. Innovation. Inspiring. Motivation.
Network. Motivation. Innovation. Planning. Constructive.
Learning.
Concrete.
New partners. Connections.
One. Collaborate. In the back, you guys have to do it yourself.
Connections.
Feedback. Business card.
People. Skin.
Is that it, or I can't see it anymore? You guys are okay, cool. Thank you very much. Please get a seat. All right. Now, a couple of housekeeping rules to start today. Oh no, sorry. Now, let me run you guys through the agenda, actually, of today. How did we design today's session? We will start with an introduction by Martin Bird, and he will lay the framework, so the basis on which we're going to build this day. He gives the introduction. What we will see then is on this introduction, we will see different spots for examples of social entrepreneurs who are actually working. We'll get to know them. The next session will be not just about adding 4 more spots on the ground, so other social entrepreneurs, but as well discussing the links between them. How can we learn from them? These are the group sessions where you will split up in small groups to discuss specific cases. Then after the lunch, we will hear from one of these spots that actually scaled up across the globe. So an innovation from Latin America, El Sistema, that then actually managed to become really a global movement. In the next 2 sessions, we will start to build the ecosystem around the social entrepreneurs. So we will hear some of the lessons from the sessions, what are relevant factors, what are flows of ecosystems that are needed. And we will hear from 4 different players who are active in the supportive ecosystem from their input. So we'll hear from government, from foundations, from corporations, and from NGOs who work with social entrepreneurs, what they actually see as important. We will close the day with an action agenda session. Urs already mentioned this is really about concrete projects, and we will use this last session to set a concrete action item that in the 3rd day of the conference, during the roundtable, we will pick up again and then go to implement. So we're very happy that we'll do that. Now, some housekeeping rules of today. If you have one of these cups, I think they already said it to you at the reception. Please try to keep it with you for during the day as much as you can, so that we try to reduce waste. The second thing is we will be moving along very fast from agenda item to agenda item, and I will need your help with the timekeeping. I won't just need your help, because I also have help from 2 good friends here of mine. One is the cowbell, very Swiss. So if you hear this, it means the next session is going to start, okay? So then please go to where you are supposed to be, okay? My second good friend is the iPad or the speaker clock, okay? So when a speaker starts, they all know how much time they've been assigned. I will sit in the front, and this clock will be running down. When their time is up, I will raise the clock, and I will ask all of you to start clapping, okay? So we've learned this is a very effective way to make sure that people stick within the time limits we gave, okay? This is a very Swiss timekeeping schedule, I know, I'm very aware of that, but I think it works best for the actual plan we have for today. Another thing that is important to realize is that we will be moving between this arch, where we are now, and arch F, so 2 more to that side. So some of the breakout sessions, some of the group sessions, the lunch will be over there. We will instruct you where you have to go, but please be aware of that this is just part of the space that we will actually use for today's conference. Now let me see. I think it's time to get started, which is a very good sign. And for the introduction on social entrepreneurship in Latin America and Europe, I'm very delighted to have Martin Bird with us. I don't know about you guys, but I don't really like long introductions of speakers where you just list their CV. With Martin, this list will be extremely long because he has done so much, but I'd just like to give you 1 or 2 highlights. So he is one of the founders of the Fundación Paraguaya, which is an organization dedicated to alleviating poverty in his native Paraguay. Then he has, however, taken on other roles and responsibilities as well. He's been a Vice Minister of Commerce, Mayor of Asunción, and most of all, he's a known speaker on social entrepreneurship in the world. So with that, Martin will speak for about 50 minutes, then we'll have time for about 10 minutes of Q&A from the audience before moving on. Martin, you're the first one to experience my clock. I hope this is going to work out well. Whenever you're ready, please come to the front. Let's get started.